and his only explanation for the items found in his home was to pinpoint the blame on his own brothers. The trial lasted a total of 15 weeks, and on July 27, 1996, after 3 days of deliberation, the jury returned a verdict: guilty on all counts. Milat was sentenced to 7 life sentences in prison, along with an additional 6 years for his assault on onions. For the families of his victims, seeing Milat sentenced was the justice they needed to help begin the healing process. But Milat would go down fighting, if not in the court of law, then from inside his cell. In May of 1997, security guards at Maitland Prison began to hear rumors of a possible jailbreak. The threat was a serious one, and they wasted no time in investigating the claims. Much to their relief, they were able to find the perpetrator of the jailbreak. The mastermind was none other than Ivan Milat. Milat had convinced George Savard, his neighboring cell occupant, to help him stage something of a coup. His intention was to find a way to break free from the prison that held him. But in the end, his plans would be entirely foiled. The 2 inmates were separated and rehomed in cells much farther apart. The following morning, however, after his failed outbreak attempt, Milat's co-conspirator Savard was found hanged in his cell. Milat was moved to a supermax security cell where he spent his days scribbling messages to himself across the walls. Some were affirmations of his innocence, some religious scripture, and some seemingly cryptic with meanings no one but Milat himself could understand. Ivan continued to protest his innocence, filing appeal after appeal, yet each time his appeals were denied. His efforts fell on deaf ears, and Milat was never awarded the appeal he so desperately sought. Though Milat had been locked away for years, the Belangolo State Forest still held many secrets that police were desperate to uncover. There were many other disappearances, and victims had vanished from the Hume Highway, and the police were trying to tie those disappearances back to Milat. Though they were unsuccessful, Milat's former attorney John Marston would go on the record in 2005 to state that during his time spent with Milat, the convicted murderer confessed to him that a woman had often been involved in perpetrating the crimes he committed. Indeed, many believed this must have been true, given the varied nature and cause of death, and the time it would have taken to overpower, subdue, and torture his victim.